Welcome to Get in the Ring with DJ D Coops and Beast Mike on the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
It is Get in the Ring with D Cooks and Beast Mike. How you doing, Beast Mike?
Not too bad. Everyone's getting ready for two things really. One, the Thanksgiving break is coming this week, and two, we're all getting ready obviously for Penn State, Ohio State on Saturday. Some people I know, some of my friends are making their way to Columbus, and it's college game day is going to be there. But apparently Ohio State's boycotting it because they're up in their feelings about Kirk Herbstreit, how he's shown some support for Penn State over the years, and maybe some anti-Chase Young stuff, I guess.
That's bogus.
Yeah,
there's going to be people at college game day.
They're gonna boycott. Some Buckeye fans are going to boycott game day, and they're being urged to boycott game day because of Herbstreit or something. It's absolutely hilarious that he's one of their own. He's an alum. No, there'll be some that won't. But I think there'll be some that actually do follow through with it.
It's a sizable thing, but are you coming back to Philly for the Thanksgiving break?
I don't know, actually. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I asked you that earlier. I was like, oh shit,
yeah.
No.
I really don't know.
But we'll iron those things out. But we have Smackdown, Raw, NXT, and AEW Dynamite. There's some news. The Ring of Honor thing. Have you seen the Twitter firestorm of Ring of Honor? They fired their women's champion. Apparently,
yeah, I did hear about that.
Who's in concussion protocol right now?
I did hear about that. That is wild. It's absolutely wild that they would do that.
Yeah, it's bullshit. That's how that company's run now, but it's
that's pretty bad. That's pretty whack right there.
Yep, post-concussion syndrome, and you're firing her.
You fire your women's champion. That's pretty bad business.
Yeah. But Ring of Honor's in a bad place right now, honestly. And then Jim Cornette saying something really offensive this week.
He promptly left NWA. I saw that. I did see that.
They fired him?
No, he either I'm pretty sure he left. I'm pretty sure he resigned.
Let me say.
I'm pretty sure he resigned. I don't think they fired him. I'm pretty sure he resigned.
Still, this was the second Jim Cornette.
I'm very sure he resigned.
Wrestling's Jim Cornette quits over racist comment during.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. He resigned.
Jim Cornette. Oh, this happened this morning. I've been off Twitter all day, so. Effective immediately, Jim Cornette has resigned from the National Wrestling Alliance as announcer on the November 19th edition of NWA Power. Jim made remarks during a singles match between Nick Aldis and Trevor Murdoch that were both offensive and did not meet the high standards of decency and good faith of the National Wrestling Alliance. To ensure this never happens again, we established new procedures of review for all NWA programming going forward. So they pulled the episode and then put it back up. So I can say it because there were no slurs in it, but it's bad. I'm going to give a warning to listeners if you're easily offended. Tune out for the next 10 seconds. He said this comment during the match. He's the only man I've ever known that can strap a bucket of fried chicken on the back and ride his motor scooter across Ethiopia.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
The only reason why I felt comfortable saying it because there were no racial slurs in it.
No, it's not racial slur, but it's there.
But it's
definitely
bad.
a stereotype. It's a stereotype. That's.
Apparently he said that a couple times before.
And nobody caught it.
In the first in the 80s and then in the 90s, because this refers to an old famine in Ethiopia back in like the 80s. I don't like Cornette has had so many of these that it's you can't give him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? And then 4 hours ago, Mark Henry to Jim Cornette, apologize or you don't like black people.
Everybody caught wind of that. No, that's not good.
Yeah, it's just... And the funny thing is, with Cornette, it's... The funny thing with Cornette is, he claims to be a liberal.
Nah! Nah, there's no way he's a liberal. Nah, no liberal would say something like that. No. Nah, no liberal would say that. That's not how that works.
No. And of course, he has not commented on this. He's retweeted Brian Last about 5,000 times, who blocked me on Twitter. That's another thing I want to address right now.
All right.
So Brian Last, he retweeted that Jim Cornette resigned and but Brian Last, his co-host and host of the 605 podcast,
Okay.
blocked me on Twitter for saying that his feud with Joey Janela over what Marco Stunt did was unprofessional. And he said he was tired of my stupidity. And I just say, you're going to lose listeners, man. You're going to lose listeners if you keep, defending Cornette first off. Because he's your money card. And second off, I like what you do. It's just if AEW's not for you, don't watch it, please.
There you go.
That goes for Cornette. That goes for anybody. If AEW's not for you, don't fucking watch it. And I just put the explicit tag on this fucking show, and I don't fucking care. Because right now, it's just annoying. Just annoying to see people hate watching shit. And every time Cornette comes out with a podcast, it's like, hear what Cornette said? And I'm like, no, I don't want to hear what Cornette.
I don't listen to Cornette. Why are we paying attention? Let's see do something really, really dumb. What are we paying attention to Cornette for?
Like what he did this week.
Yeah, right.
It's just
that's really dumb and newsworthy at the same time. Like other than that, like your normal podcast, do your thing. But I'm not tripping off Cornette.
I don't listen to the Cornette podcast because I know I'm gonna get pissed off listening to it. And like Brian's been taking things way too personally, and I'm like, Brian, you need to take a step back.
There's some people, unfortunately, that get caught up in their feelings. I think that's all that is.
Yeah, I know.
People up in their feelings.
And I messaged him. I was like, I'm sorry if I threatened my listenership to the 605. I that's what his friend Roy told me. Because, and then he said he wasn't going to respond to my apology. And then he's doubled down on the stupidity part, and I didn't appreciate that. And it would be one. I'm still gonna listen to the 605, but it's like, dude, you take yourself way too seriously.
Some people try too hard.
Like I do, trying to call you sometimes.
Yeah, some people try too hard. It's got to be a natural deal. But let's get back into let's lighten the mood and get back into this wrestling. That's been
I know.
And
let me see if there's any news and notes besides this fucking Jim Cornette thing, because that. Let me see.
Obviously, Punk snapping at Rollins because Rollins passes on Twitter too hard.
I found that CM Punk interview interesting. Let me give you my thoughts on that.
I thought it was good with him and Renee. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good insight on what Punk, how they brought him back, and how he was really feeling. I think he's gonna fit really well in the backstage show.
It's just right now, Punk's 41.
Right. Do I expect him to get back in the ring? Honestly don't. I really don't. I don't think it's not that he doesn't have the heart to do it. I just don't think he wants to. I don't think he really has the desire to really get back in the ring. Like, what is he? I don't think he really thinks he has anything really to prove. Honestly,
no, he doesn't.
I don't think he believes that. Which probably true. I mean, dude had one of the hottest single years we've ever seen in 2011, and he really kept the flow going until he left as one of the hottest dudes in the company. So
I actually like that Moxley's doing the stuff that he said he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
My thing with CM Punk, while yeah, do whatever you want, but we had higher hopes for you.
Okay.
We had higher hopes for you. You would go to go on an independent run. You would go to New Japan. You would do the things that Cody and Moxley did.
So you wanted him to not just vanish from the face of the wrestling earth after he bailed from WWE.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
that's fair.
I understand your heart's not in it anymore, but I'm just trying to see how you said you were the voice of the voiceless. You talked all this game. You could have done something special.
So it sounds like you criticized Punk a little bit for not keeping up the momentum that he built.
Yes.
He built up so much momentum over that 3-year run of 2011 to 2014, but he built so much momentum and was legitimately one of the faces of WWE.
Yeah.
And then he bails and he could have gone back to New Japan, or he could have gone to Ring of Honor, and been a top guy.
And I know he was hurt.
Right.
I know he was hurt, and that's one thing. That's one thing that it just bothered me.
Mm.
And it's my fault for thinking that he was gonna walk the walk instead of talk the talk.
Mm. See, you think you're a little guilty of having too high of expectations?
Yes,
Okay.
because I truly believe that Cody and Moxley have eclipsed Punk in terms of popularity.
You know what happened? I think the thing about with both of those two, and Moxley and especially Cody, is that they rose their games the second they left WWE. Not only did they leave for those other companies for obviously for New Japan and Ring of Honor and now AEW, both of them, but it's that they rose their games once they left. Like they both you could tell they both got better the second they left WWE.
Yes.
I don't know how much better Punk could have got had he left and gone to another company. I don't know.
I
how much
agree with
better
that,
Punk could have got.
actually. I actually agree with that. So that was just my thing. But let's go to SmackDown. I was at this show, bland show, in my opinion. Corbin, a lot of talking segments. This wasn't a fun show to be at.
Okay.
Like, AEW was fun to be at, you know?
It sounded like you had more, you enjoyed that, as opposed, you sound like you just simply enjoyed that because it was pure wrestling.
Yes.
As opposed to SmackDown, which...
I just listened to a Baron Corbin promo, and I hated every second of that. No what? I actually like Baron Corbin because he gets me to hate him.
You're coming along a little. You're coming around.
On him.
Yeah.
I know he's never going to be something in the ring, and that still bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have vitriol for it. I started to realize that having a lot of vitriol for things like Jim Cornette does doesn't do me any good.
And yeah, it's you're seeing it not quite as I do about Corbin in the sense of his character is really good. His character does get you to hate him, and he does a really good job of doing that.
I think there are better heels in wrestling right now, but he's one of the better ones.
I'll buy that. Yeah, certainly. That's certainly true.
I think he's one of the better heels in wrestling because I started to realize I hate him from a gimmick standpoint. I don't hate him because he has go-away heat. Maybe at a point I had go-away heat for him, but...
No, you definitely did. There's no maybe about it.
I definitely did.
Yeah, especially earlier this year when he was coming after the Universal title in Rollins. I think that was the height of it.
I think that was the height of everyone's go-away heat for Baron Corbin. But
no, he was coming for Rollins.
But not because he was coming for Rollins. It was more because...
He was a main eventer?
He was a main eventer. Now he's in this upper mid-card role, and I can see, he has some benefit.
That works. Yes, the upper mid-cards work. I think that's perfectly fine. Like if he held the Intercontinental title at some point between now and the next Survivor Series, perfectly cool.
World champ. He's not a heel world champ material like Chris Jericho or MJF.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's true. That I agree with. Let's see. So
Gable talked about the Corbin promo. He brought up a little yippy barking dog mascot.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had the match between Mustafa Ali. This was a really good match.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked this. This was my favorite match of the night. And
Ali and Gable versus Roode and Ziggler.
Yeah, this was my favorite match of SmackDown. Good energy. And it was fun.
Good stuff with the faces winning. Thanks to the German by Gable, and then congrats to Gable on his third trial, by the way. And then the 450 by Ali on the Ziggler to get it done. So good quality stuff there. Obviously, Ali and G and Gable are heading towards Survivor Series. So that's a clear. That's what had to be done. So they retained their spots. In other words,
yes. Braun Strowman and the B Team versus Drew Gulak. No match. Strowman just killed people.
Yeah.
Moving on. New Day versus Revival. Good 3-star match. Always
This
welcome
was
to have. This was decent.
This was quality.
Finish was cheap.
Yeah, it was, but I understand why it was done.
Yeah.
Obviously, get the Undisputed Era, you get the drop on both teams. I totally get it, and it set up a really good match between Fish and O'Reilly versus the Revival on NXT. So I get why this was done. This is perfectly fine. So, and plus they're gonna run it back with Revival and New Day on Friday. So I'm okay with it. That's okay.
Yeah. Heavy Machinery squashed a couple jabrones. And then our last match was supposed to be Bayley versus Nikki Cross, but NXT took over. And then it was Kai, Ripley, Knox, and Yim versus Banks, Nikki, Carmella, and Dana.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to do more, but to me, it was a little convoluted. Like, I liked the match, but it was only like a 2.5-star match. And then Miss TV
you think it should have been? You think it should have been the last match you actually saw? You think it should have been? It would have been better off, like a little bit lower on the card.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. The
last match I saw was a 205 Live match. We didn't stay for Reigns versus Corbin, which was the dark main event, because we were like, "Fuck that." Plus, by the way, Elimination Chamber is coming to Philly.
Oh. That's in February, right? Yeah, February.
No, it's in March this year.
Oh, it's March. Oh, okay, it pushed it back to March. Okay. I saw there's going to be a live event coming here to State College in February. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Wow, the Mason Chamber coming to Philly. Nice. Philly getting pay-per-views now. This will be the 4th out of 5 years that WWE is going to have a pay-per-view in Philly.
Yeah, I like it.
Fourth time out of 5 years. You got 2 Rumbles, and then you got Extreme Rules last year, and then now you have
the year before.
Battleground. Yeah, so that's 5 out of 6.
My brothers were at Battleground, unfortunately.
Battleground
was bad show.
Other than New Day Usos, which is a classic, that show was pretty whack. We're talking 5 out of 6 years. We're talking Rumble 2015. There was nothing in 2016. Battleground 2017. Rumble again 2018. Extreme Rules this year. And now Chambers 2020. Yeah, so that's 5 out of 6. That's pretty good. I like Chicago levels, because Chicago's like had a run of pay-per-view, a run of years with at least one pay-per-view.
So
matter of fact, Chicago might have had one every decade, every year this decade. Chicago might have had a pay-per-view.
That might be right, actually.
I'm really sure Chicago had one every year this decade. 2010, I'm pretty sure they had Night of Champions. There's a way to look that up, actually.
Okay.
There's a way to actually look that up. I'm really sure Chicago has had a pay-per-view every year this decade. There's a way to actually look that up and see if that's actually true. I'm pretty sure in 2010 they had Night of Champions.
I believe they did too. Yeah.
Let's see. Rumble Phillips. And many things are happening. Obviously, 2011's obvious. Money in the Bank Sprint Center. That was actually good Money in the Bank. Yeah, Night of Champions with Chicago. Yep. So that's true. Yeah, no, I mean, we'll. But no, that gets away from the point. But it's that's good. It's good that Philly's on that level. now of getting pay-per-views every year. So that's a good look from Philly.
Yes.
But all right, so from SmackDown to Raw, and Raw, obviously Raw's go-home show for Survivor
we missed
Series.
the Firefly Funhouse Miss TV.
Oh, right, the Miss TV thing where Daniel Bryan basically gets the challenge.
It's over with WWE crowds. I'll give it that.
And I do like that the title's blue. What?
The Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah, it's clearly entertaining to see Bray in this.
It's not for me, and I can firmly admit that. But it's over. Sorry.
You're in a one-story house. I can hear you through the walls. Please. Between that and the door, it's like enough.
Sorry. I gotta tone it down a little bit. I'll edit this out.
But yeah, I think it's clear that the Funhouse has got buzz and people are digging it, and it was a good look to see. It's good look. I think that the title being basically color coded based off the show, I think is fine. It looks nice. It looks nice that it's blue. I actually like that it's better blue than red. It's nice. And Bray versus Daniel Bryan should be a pretty good match. Like if it's as good as the Royal Rumble was a few years ago, I'm all for it. But please get rid of that red lighting. The red lighting is awful.
Yeah, please. But moving on to Raw.
Let's see. The first piece of business was Becky and Charlotte facing the Iconics, and they basically handled them with ease, with relative ease. There's really not much to truly say. The Iconics suffered a Flair Lynch made their way up the ramp. It's only to watch as the three members of the Four Horsewomen attacked the Iconics, and they took a beating. So, basically, that's really what we're dealing with here. And solid, decent stuff, though. They're clearly setting up for more stuff for Survivor Series. That seems relatively obvious there. Lynch wanted to fight both Iconics, only for Charlotte to come in, and the match happened. Former tag champions attacked Flair and Lynch to do their thing, and they tried to get a quick win, but unfortunately, their figure eight happened. Billy Kay tapped out of the figure eight, and they got jumped. And then Flair and Lynch did their thing and left, and then the Shayna and her crew basically jumped the Iconics. That was the end of the proceedings. Let's see here. Next up, we got Carrillo versus Carl Anderson. Umberto Carrillo continues to gain even more traction. Continues to put in work. Ultimately, Carrillo got it done with a little bit of help from Street Profits, even in the odds. But good job there by both parties. Setting up pretty good stuff here. As clearly they're going to build probably for TLC. No way Jose got mowed down by Bobby Lashley. Nothing special there. Again, there's a lot of risk something needs to end, but apparently the whole divorce thing. Rollins and Andrade was as good as was good. Entertaining fight, and I'm looking forward to them running it back. We didn't get a conclusive finish because the Lucha House Party jumped Rollins and basically jumped both parties. But this match was very good. This match was a very good match, and I would love to see them run it back.
I heard Buddy Murphy and Tozawa tore it up.
And they did. They absolutely did. This was incredibly entertaining. Really entertaining stuff as they keep showing the 205 guys showing out on Raw as they've moved up, and it was dope. This was very, very good. Buddy Murphy getting it done, as it's clear Buddy Murphy is going to have a come-up 2019. Buddy Murphy's about to have
he's going to face Aleister Black.
He's going to have a monster 2019. Yeah, Buddy versus Alice is going to be so good. Buddy's going to have a crazy good 2019. I can see that now. He's going to have a crazy good year. Andrade's going to have a crazy good year. Carrillo's going to have a crazy good year. Those three are going to just run roughshod on Raw. I can totally see that. Let's see. Rowan destroyed a poor soul. My condolences to Malcolm. Owens and McIntyre was very good. This is a really good match. I'm mad that we didn't get a conclusive finish, but Owens and McIntyre was so good. Oh man, Owens and McIntyre was dope. Triple H basically interrupted it and tried to recruit Owens to join his NXT team, and it led to an invasion of NXT guys to get a drop on Owens. As Undisputed Era did it, and then Raw people joined the fray. As there was a Smackdown crew, there was a Raw crew at the foot of the ramp. This match was excellent, though. The match itself was excellent. So both guys really got it in, and both guys really showed out. So I'd like to see those two can run it back all day.
And it looked like they actually gave them time.
Yeah, they did. So. They gave him a couple segments. They gave McIntyre and Owens a couple segments. But the match was excellent. The match really was. Raw had some really good matches. This was so Rey Mysterio spoke after Brock Lesnar, after Heyman basically said the match is going to be no holds barred between Mysterio and Lesnar, which I think is perfectly fine. I
heard this was a killer promo.
Yeah, it was. It was on both parties, by Heyman and Mysterio. On both parties, this was good. This was highly entertaining. So yeah, they're setting up for what I think could be a very good match in Survivor Series with Lesnar and Mysterio. And I think it'll probably be an event, and I think it should. So I'm all for that. Asuka versus Natty was okay. Nothing too special. Asuka got it done. There was really no chicanery. A little bit of a distraction by Kairi Sane, but ultimately it's really not that much of chicanery there. And it was Asuka dropping Natty with a kick to the face. And then the main event was Randy Orton and Ricochet versus the Viking Raiders for the Raw Tag titles. Obviously, we knew this was never going to be. They were never going to lose the titles. AOP laid out.
Never going to be.
They're never going to lose the titles. Yeah, they were never going to lose the titles. Viking Raiders. AOP ran up on Ryder and Hawkins. Yeah, earlier on in the show. So Orton stepped up and challenged the Viking Raiders to a tag team title match. And he put on Ricochet to put on for the match. The match itself was pretty decent. But then they got surrounded by NXT. Orton got a couple RKOs in, but the NXT all but jumped the four guys in the ring. Was like the Smackdown coming back and Raw coming back. But they were both parties were outgunned and outmanned by NXT. And pretty much NXT on the ring to close the show on Raw.
That's good.
Good Raw. This is a good Raw. This really, from start to finish, was a good Raw.
All right.
Really enjoyed Raw.
NXT
keeping up the momentum. They kept up the momentum pretty well. NXT led off with Becky Lynch kind of storming the ring. And she was looking for Shayna, but got Rhea Ripley instead. So the other captain from Wargames for the Wargames match. Good match between the two. Good physical match. A lot of tech skills on both parties. Highly entertaining. Ultimately, it was Shayna and her crew jumping both parties and led to a full-on fight. But Rhea and Becky would fight them off. But this was a solid match. Solid match all the way through. Then we got we were going to have Kona Reeves versus Matt Riddle, but instead Ricochet jumps Kona Reeves, and it turns into Ricochet and Riddle, and this match went 100 miles an hour quick. It was a lot of Ricochet matches too, but this match was full speed ahead real fast. A solid match, a little bit of a quick pinfall because of Nakamura and Cesaro. Really kind of running interference a little bit as they would fight both parties off. And after the match, what happened, we got a little bit more from Nakamura and Cesaro. All guys kind of did their thing. Ricochet went completely nuts by jumping from top rope to over barricade to get Cesaro out. Amazing visuals there. We were going to have Riddle catch that Kinshasa from Shinsuke, but instead Riddle picks him off. Actually, no, Roddy Strong picked off Shinsuke. And then just when Riddle thought he could get the drop on Roddy, it was Balor who got the drop on Riddle. This led to a little bit of a brawl. and Riddle eventually would hold the ring, and all parties would be thrown out. All parties would be outside of it. But and this was really the theme of NXT this week, of invasion angles, but at the same time, War Games angles. And they kind of interwove them all in. And I think it made a lot of sense. Fish and O'Reilly vs. Revival was crazy. I think it lasted a little bit too long, but it was
25 minutes.
Good. It was incredibly good. I wish it would have been 20 instead of 25, but I think it was incredibly good. Highly entertaining match, highly technically gifted match between four incredibly technically gifted wrestlers. This is really good. Undisputed Era got the win thanks to the high-low situation, but this was a really good match and a whole lot of great teamwork and great pure tag team wrestling. I'd love to see these two teams running back because this was incredibly entertaining from start to finish. So Fish and O'Reilly get it done at the very end with the high-low as they got the high-low on Dawson to get the pin. As Fish got the pin. But really, really good tag match and one of the best tag team matches WWE's had all year, if not the best.
We know what the best was.
Yes. Candice Ray vs. Dakota Kai. Decent match. It was decent. Nothing too special. Kaylee Ray won clean. And we got to SmackDown women coming in and kind of taking the spot over. Carmella was the first to appear onto the scene. We got a little bit of a tease of Kairi Sane and Io Shirai staring each other down, which I thought was nice. At the Sane hit an insane elbow. But ultimately, the tide turned when Nikki Cross waylaid on everybody that wasn't in a blue shirt with a trash can lid. And Nikki Cross was the last woman standing in the ring. So this was a pretty good angle to keep up the women's part of both shows. Viking Raiders and Forgotten Sons was a decent tag match, a fairly decent tag match, but ultimately it was the Viking Raiders to get it done. But this was pretty good, nothing special. It was no way it was going to top the Fish O'Reilly vs. Revival match, but it was pretty good, not great, but still a decent watch. And then finally, the main event, just like the women's one, was the ladder match, and the winner gets the advantage for War Games. There was no interference, there was no chicanery involved in the match, but ultimately it was Dajakovic's knee that caught the better, that really got the better of him, as he did the feast your eyes and then went up and tried to go up the ladder on one leg. Instead, Adam Cole used a briefcase to hit him in the face, and he fell backwards into a ladder that was propped up from corner to the ladder that they climbed. The ladder breaks. Cole wins the match for his team. So Undisputed Era for the second straight year will have the advantage, will have the power play advantage for War Games. Chaos happened as Keith Lee and Ivar is just mass chaos. Just all parties involved. A lot of NXT, but a whole lot of Raw. And the show closed with Ciampa hitting the scene. He dropped Cole with a knee, and then we got Rollins hitting the scene after Ciampa. And Rollins and Ciampa closed the show by fighting each other in the ring, which was the culmination of what was a really good brawl. So that was NXT, a highly entertaining NXT. I just wish this ladder match was a little. I wish the 5 minutes were taken away from the tag match with Revival and Fish and O'Reilly. I would have given those 5 minutes to this ladder match. The ladder match was relatively short. But that's NXT.
Then we had AEW with Phoenix versus Nick Jackson.
What a way to start that show. Ooh.
This was great.
What a match.
Nick's such an underrated underneath wrestler. But Phoenix is just God. There's something about him that is eye-popping.
Phoenix is simply special. There's no other way to say it. Phoenix is simply special. I think the thing about this match that you notice right away is that Nick Jackson seemed a little bit shaken by the fact that his brother Matt wasn't there to get tags. But once he got comfortable, Nick Jackson was legit.
He can go.
Basically move for move with Ray Phoenix.
Yeah,
but it's incredible.
Yeah, great way to start. Great way to start AEW. Powerful way to start AEW. The Super Rana was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And
that Springboard Destroyer, all the stuff that Phoenix did with walking along the ropes.
The Phoenix Driver finished his neck.
That spinning muscle buster, for those who may not have seen it, but that's just crazy.
Then we had Britt Baker versus Hikaru Shida, which was another very good match.
Baker apparently is number 1 in the rankings. Shida's number 2 in terms of coming for the women's championship.
And next week, Shida will eclipse Baker because Hikaru Shida won the match.
Mm-hmm.
The running knee strike. They had a good match. Nice intensity. Really good. Then we had the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. This sets up Paige and MJF.
Well, the winner gets that ring.
This was a good battle royal.
As clever MJF was hiding through a decent amount of it, and ultimately eliminated Sabian to basically become the one of the last two. They were declared the final two, and they'll meet for the Diamond Ring on the Thanksgiving Eve episode. Good stuff there.
Good stuff. He last eliminated Jungle Boy. Then we had a Chris Jericho promo.
A major announcement
that he was going to have his celebration next week, and the AEW and not in Indianapolis. Then SCU came out, and basically it leads to Jericho versus Sky next week.
As Scorpio Sky gets to cash in on all the momentum he's built and the fact that he pinned Jericho to keep the tag titles in SCU.
Yes. This ended in a brawl where they handcuff Daniels and Cass to the ropes, and they fight up Cutler and Nakazawa, and then the Jurassic Express came out, and then Hager went face to face with Luchasaurus, and Hager bailed.
That's a match I want to see. Luchasaurus versus Hager, I'm all for that.
I am all for that as well.
This is a good segment. I like the way they set this up. I enjoy it, and now they're going to have a really hot main event next week in Chicago. That's a really good way to set it up. I like it.
Luchasaurus versus Peter Avalon, 30 seconds. Luchasaurus killed him.
Let's welcome back Luchasaurus. I miss seeing you do your thing. Love having Luchasaurus back.
Ortiz and Santana versus Private Party. This was dedicated to Matt Travis, who was killed last week. Condolences to Matt Travis's friends and family.
Yep.
This could have been shorter. Private Party defeats Ortiz and Santana with the gin and juice. After Nick Jackson interferes.
By the way, I love the promo that Ortiz and Santana cut after they destroyed the Bucks last week. I love that. Did you see that on Twitter?
Yes, it did.
That was so good. The promo that they cut on Twitter.
They're underrated on the mic.
They are really good on the mic. They really are.
So next week's AEW, if you didn't think this week's AEW was loaded, next week's AEW is Paige versus MJF, Pac versus Omega, Jericho versus Sky, and Cody returns.
Ooh. Oh, and also now we have the main event. Did we get to the main event of Moxley versus Darby Allin?
This was good.
And two dudes who are maybe the two reckless dudes the most reckless dudes in AEW. In a straight up wrestling match. Imagine that. But I love the fearlessness of Allin, and Moxley ultimately is just a little bit too much. But I think this was entertaining. I like it. I like what Allen's gonna have a good year. Allen's gonna have a good 2019. Like I said for the WWE guys of Buddy Murphy and Humberto Carrillo earlier on in the show here, I think Darby Allin's could have that kind of year
in 2020.
In 2020 as well. Darby Allin and MJF could have a kind of year in 2020.
Yeah, MJF feud Cody. So
I'm ready. I'm ready for that. Apparently they're gonna have a Bash at the Beach in Miami on January 15th.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
I did see that.
We have the full Survivor Series card, actually. Let's go over it. Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio. Who's winning? Brock.
No,
this is good.
This will be entertaining. I'm actually looking forward to this match.
I'm actually looking forward to it, too.
I think this will be a very good match, and I'm all for this being the close. I think this is the main event, and it should be. I think this will be a highly entertaining match. I'm going to go with Brock, yes. I think Brock would just be too good, and it'd just be too powerful for Rey Mysterio.
I don't know who's winning the women's triple threat, because these are three hot acts.
Yes.
And one of them's going to have to eat a pin.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to... Yeah, it's tough.
I'm going to go with Becky, and she pins Bayley.
Yep, that's where I was going to.
I figure with these three championships, I figure each show is going to get one.
Yes.
I figure each show will get one. It's just a matter of who gets which one. So I think Becky will win for Raw.
I think Undisputed Era.
Yeah, I probably go Undisputed Era for SmackDown, and then go Shinsuke for NXT, and then Shinsuke for SmackDown.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the proper route. Either that or New Day for SmackDown and Roddy for NXT. But I think it's each show gets one of the champions.
I think Team NXT is going to win the women's 5-on-5.
I'm not sure we even know who the women's NXT are who they're even going to be.
No, we're not sure on either team.
So Raw, no, we're sure on Raw. Raw has Charlotte as the captain, Natty, the tag champions, Asuka and Kairi Sane, and Sarah Logan. SmackDown has Sasha, Carmella, Dana, Lacey Evans, and Nikki Cross. That's been known for a couple weeks. And then we'll see. And in NXT, we'll see after Wargames. So NXT is hiding theirs after the Wargames matches. So we'll probably know Saturday night who's going to be from NXT, or Sunday morning. We'll know who's going to be on the NXT teams. For the men and the women. But
I imagine Mustafa Ali gets a pay-per-view booking.
Yes, I like it.
We have the Fiend versus Daniel Bryan. You have to think the Fiend's going to win.
Yeah, I think the Fiend will retain. I think they'll set it up for a TLC rematch, but I think the Fiend retains this time.
Yeah. And then we'll go to Wargames because this has to do with Wargames in a way, because Pete Dunne, Killian Dane, and and Damian Priest are fighting for the #1 contendership.
Well, the winner gets Adam Cole.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Dunn pinning Priest.
Yeah, I think Dunn gets revenge with Priest.
I think Dunn will pin Priest. And it'll be Dunn versus Cole.
And Adam Cole to have a fucking banger.
That's why I think it's gonna be Dunn. Because in Chicago, they're gonna love Pete Dunne. Yeah. Ultimately, I do think Cole will win and keep the title, barring he's not completely beaten up for War Games. But I do think Cole will win.
Getting the title off for Cole because he has to broken rest.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, that is true. That is a good point.
Pete Dunne is the only one that screams really champion to me.
Who hasn't won it? Are you including Ciampa, the Ciampas, the Garganos, and whatever happens in Velveteen? Well, I think Velveteen might be the fourth guy on Ciampa's team.
Yeah.
But and they kept that under wraps too. And who's going to be the fourth on Ciampa's team?
Yeah, they did keep that under wraps. Oh, it's Seth Rollins.
Ooh, whoa, what? Whoa. Where did you see that?
Wikipedia.
They dropped it at Seth? Wow.
So, I don't know how they're going to explain this.
Does Rollins jump from Raw to NXT?
No.
Or is this does Rollins to get the drop, or the Rollins to get some heat, some payback on them?
Yeah, I think it's that. If Seth
that
Rollins
would be old. If he's in a War Games match, that would be wild.
That's insane.
That would be absolutely wild.
Oh, it's still TBA.
I'm very sure it's TBA. Yeah, no, from what I'm seeing, it's TBA.
Yeah. For some reason, Wikipedia has Seth Rollins in there.
Yeah, no, somebody probably might have been playing around with it. Riddle versus Balor. I have to think it's going to be Finn, but I think it's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
And then the two War Games. For the women's War Games, I'm going to go with Shayna's team. I'll go with Shayna's team, but I think it's going to be a very good match. I think the craziest person in the match, the one I'm looking forward to see in the match the most is probably Io. I think Io Shirai's going to do something crazy. But I'm going to go...
it's still TBA.
Yeah, no, it's still TBA. I'm going to go with Shayna's team to win the match. To actually win the women's match. And I think it'll be... Io will do something absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, Io's going to jump off the fucking cage.
Yep. I fully expect her to jump off the cage. Candice maybe too, but I fully expect Io to do it. And then for the men's team...
Who's going to jump off the cage? It's probably going to be Cole. As insane as that sounds.
I'm going to go Keith Lee.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to go Keith Lee. Keith Lee is the most apt to actually do it of the 7 men that's in this match right now. You don't have a high flyer on the Spinera's team, and Dijakovic isn't one, and Ciampa's not one. So the only one left is Lee, and we know Lee can do it, which is terrifying to somebody that big is going to jump off that cage.
Unless Seth Rollins is in the match.
If it's Rollins, I think Rollins will save everybody the trouble. Or if it's Velveteen Dream, Velveteen Dream will save everybody the trouble.
For some reason, I saw Seth Rollins. I don't think I was seeing things, but
that would be wild if it were Rollins or Kevin Owens, and then they would pretty much automatically become the captain of the NXT team. That would be so wild. But yeah,
because
I think
still says the door's open.
Yeah, which They're pretty much. It's all been confirmed that all parties are going to be at SmackDown tomorrow, which is going to lead to a whole lot of chaos coming.
Oh God,
It's going
that's
to
going to be a fun show.
SmackDown's going to be wild. With all three brands under the same roof, SmackDown's going to be wild.
What else? Picks of the week.
I'll stay away from Penn State, Ohio State. I'll keep my emotional ties out of that. My condolences with the Baylor season effectively ending. that was rough.
And the Big 12.
You can tell how the committee feels about the Big 12 when Oklahoma doesn't move ahead of Penn State or Minnesota. You can tell how they feel.
That is correct.
So, to me, the game I'm actually looking forward to here, that's not Penn State, Ohio State, SMU and Navy is one I'm actually looking forward to. I know you guys crushed Navy last week. Put the curb stomping on Navy last week. I know that. I saw that.
That was fantastic. That was fantastic. I was like, we played to our potential finally.
Played a complete game. That's a Debo, Boston College.
Yeah, you like us at Boston College. It's nice.
I'm gonna actually go with your boys. Y'all 20-point favorites against BC. BC's a mediocre team. Steven Daziel, I don't really love him as a coach. I think you guys are gonna put in work and probably just steamroll your way to 10-2. I think you guys are gonna be. You're not gonna get a BC. You're not gonna get New Year 6, but you're gonna get a 10-2.
Unless chaos happens.
Unless a whole lot of bodies drop in the next 2 weeks, you're gonna go 10-2.
Might happen.
And you'll probably end up with like the Citrus Bowl or something like that. Or the Outback, yeah. You'll end up with one of those two bowls, I think.
Where I'm going with this, I'm looking at the games, and what else is there? I know there's another ranked versus ranked matchup. Is there?
The other ranked for other than Penn State, Ohio State, Baylor. Texas isn't ranked after losing to Iowa State last week. But that's a bad loss. But that's not a bad game. The game itself isn't too bad.
Yeah, there's no other ranked versus ranked.
No, we got the only Temple Cincy's pretty good.
Cincy.
Temple's not a bad team, and they're a 10-point dog going to Cincy, but that's a pretty good game.
I am
and
going
the SMU Navy and the Indiana Michigan's the other one that's pretty good.
I am going to take Nebraska on the road against Maryland. Going Big 10 here. All
right.
In a non-ranked matchup, this is Scott Frost got extended. I think they're going to play hard for the next 2 weeks for Scott Frost and get a bowl berth.
That means that they'd have to go to Iowa and beat Iowa, but that's a rough. Ooh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't know it was at Iowa. Oh shit. I may reverse that pick, but
for this week, interesting. Nebraska goes to Maryland and beats Maryland, or Nebraska faces Maryland and beats Maryland. That's interesting.
Yeah.
As for the NFL, good win for Houston. Houston saving, kind of responding. They absolutely had to. 2 TDs for DeAndre Hopkins. Actually, one Hopkins, one Filler, one Will Fuller. Good win for the Texans who needed to keep the win to stay ahead of the Colts and avoid getting swept. So good job there. By both touchdowns for Hopkins. Both touchdowns for Hopkins, but Houston gets it done. To answer your question, is there a tank bowl?
No.
I think the closest shot is Bucks Falcons. I think that's the closest. Because they're the only matchup of anyone that I see here where both teams are in the bottom 8.
Holy shit, Oakland to making the playoffs.
There's some bad matchups this week. Like Lions-Redskins is really close. That's a bad one. Lions matchup.
The Lions have enough wins to say it's not a tank bowl.
Right, but they don't have Stafford, so that's where that comes in.
But there's some good matchups too.
And the Giants-Bears is pretty bad too. But each slot has a game that's absolutely worth watching. Like Seahawks-Eagles is going to be hot, and then you got Cowboys-Patriots, and you got the 4:00 games. Then you got Packers-Niners as the Sunday night, and then Ravens-Rams as the Monday night. So you got some hot ones. Be good. Where I'm going this week, my NFL pick, I'm going to go to Detroit and the Redskins. The Redskins are complete trash, and this side of the Bengals are the worst team in the NFL. Jeff Driscoll actually played really well last week against a pretty good Dallas team. I got Detroit putting in work and beating Washington heavy. This could get ugly quick.
I'm taking the under on the Eagles-Seattle's game. That's my pick.
All right.
That's my pick. This is the first time we went over-under on this show, but I think it's going to be a really defensive football game. I was shocked that the Eagles-Patriots went that way, and I'm pissed that the Eagles wasted Jim Schwartz's best defensive performance.
That was actually a really good defense, yeah.
Like, the secondary was back, and I think Seattle's going to keep it close, but Russell Wilson's playing on an MVP level. It's him or Lamar Jackson right now.
Those are the two, and then Deshaun Watson's third. Those are really the three.
But I would disqualify Deshaun Watson after, and Philly's favored by 1, and I'm not loving that number.
Well, to be fair to Lamar Jackson beat both Watson and Wilson in a month span. So you want to qualify as a tiebreaker, and he balled out in both games. So that's absolutely, to me, you got to put Lamar Jackson in the driver's seat there.
So Andy Reid did want Russell Wilson in 2012. But
I wanted Russell Wilson in Miami in 2012.
I think everybody wanted Russell Wilson in 2012, but Seattle pulled the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just like, right now, I think the Eagles are going to squeak in the playoffs because the rest of the NFC is garbage. They're going to get that 6th wildcard spot.
I think I'm torn on the Eagles making the playoffs. I don't think they win against Seattle. So that puts them 5-6, and basically saying you got to win out to get in. Yeah.
Yeah, the Vikings are
the problem.
Yeah, I don't think.
That Vikings tiebreaker is going to kill them. That Vikings tiebreaker is going to kill them. I think Green Bay wins. I think Green Bay wins the North, but so that Vikings tiebreaker is really going to kill them.
Yeah.
And the Seattle one might kill him. And the Seattle one might kill him too, because I think the Seattle one kills him too, because I think the Niners will probably win the West. So that's two really bad tiebreakers against the Eagles.
Yeah, and we're 2.5 back.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact you got rolled by Dallas, and but they can make.
This is Danny Kugler of Get in the Ring. Our recording got cut off pretty soon, so you can follow Beast Mike at Beast Mike on Twitter. You can follow me at DJD Kooks on Twitter, and I'm sorry about this technical snafu. It won't happen again, and have a good day.